Hello, welcome to my first June Journaling for Health vlog. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's been almost 6 months since I started this whole process of journaling. I have a couple of things to share with you today that, I don't know, is what's on my mind. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go. So the first thing is that I woke up this morning with a little bit of anxiety, and I noticed that the thought that came into my head was, I'll figure it out. It felt pretty good. And then the next thought that came into my head was, we'll figure it out. And I don't even know what that meant, but it sort of felt like, my people, like my community, we would figure it out. And then the next thought that came into my head was, it's already figured out. Just keep moving. Don't have to worry about it. The collective consciousness has figured it out. And I know that sounds a little woo-woo and crazy and weird, but last week I was at a retreat in Denver and I learned about this thing called spiral dynamics. And it basically talks about the evolution and the development of the various stages of humanity that are sort of parallel to the stages of development of a human being. And that where we are in our human evolution, or what we are aware of, is that there's a higher consciousness that is the idea that we're all connected globally, all throughout the universe, and that our actions have impact and are connected, and all of our energy is connected. And I'm sure this is not the first time you're hearing about this. This is not a completely, out of the blue, out of this world concept. But I'm just starting to have a really personal and constant awareness of it. What it impacts is it leaves me feeling less pressure and anxiety to get it all figured out myself, to make it happen myself. It leaves me feeling very connected to the goodness and the power that's in the universe, in our full-on, we are all connected type of perspective, if that makes sense. And then, so I woke up with that sort of in my head, this idea that we're all connected, and that there's not so much of a stress or a strain to figure it out and fix it and make it better because we're all connected. And so what that means is that when I have something that I'm desiring to attract into my experience, or when I'm having something that I'm trying to transform, that I can just relax and know that the universe is conspiring to help me. This morning, I was completing my practice of declaring to the universe and to the powers that be who I am in this world, who I am now, and who I'm stepping into becoming. And my son came running up behind me. He often wakes up as I'm in the middle of my meditation practice or whatever, but he came running up behind me and he said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm declaring to the universe who I am and who I want to be, and that it's already done, that who I'm becoming is just, it's already happening." And he was like, "Huh." I said, "Would you like to do that?" He said, "Yeah, I'd like to do that." So I had him take off his shoes so that he could feel the earth and get grounded into the earth. And I said, "Well, who would you like to be?" And he said, "I'd like to be a famous gamer." Okay. Who might argue with a 7-year-old, right? So I said, "Okay, well then, put your arms up and feel yourself connected to the energy that's out there, the energy that makes the sun rise in the morning and set at night, and say, 'I am a famous gamer.'" And so he did that. And I said, "Who else are you? Who else do you want to be?" And he said, "I'm a superhero."
I want to get superpowers, but the most superpower that I want is teleport. So how do I even get
"I'm a superhero and I can just think of a power and then I have that power." I was like, "That's awesome. Go ahead, do it." So he put his little hands up to the universe and he said, "I am a superhero and I think of a power and that power is mine." I was like, "That's so cool, Max. That's awesome." And then we were walking back into the house and he turned around with this really just determined look on his face and he said, "Well, wait, Mom, wait. Don't we have to write it down?" Now, I don't talk to my 7-year-old son about journaling. Not like I talk to you guys about it. It's not a regular topic of conversation in my house. So the idea that this beautiful little innocent, completely detached little boy would remind me to journal, for me, it was a reminder of the connectedness of how 7 or 70, male, female, it doesn't matter. We're all connected. Our energy is connected. And so, of course, I turned to him and I said, yes, let's journal. We went in the house and I got him his very own blank journal. And I said, yeah, let's write it down. And so I started to write in the way that I write. And then he started to write in his own way. He wrote what he wanted to be. And then he drew a picture of him doing it. Then he got up and he stood in the middle of the living room and he said, I transport over there across the room. And he said, I have super speed.
Why don't you work on your speed superpower?
Okay, 3, 2, 1, speed.
That's not very fast. I'm pretty sure I could go that fast.
And he looked at me and he said, Mama, how come I don't have super speed? And I said, because it's a practice. And the more you practice it, the closer you'll get to having that power.
Wait, let me try that again.
There's something about it that's a little bit scientific. There's something about it that's a little bit magical. And there's something about it that's a little bit, why the hell not? What do you have to lose? Somebody said to me over the weekend, I was teaching some people the technique, and they said to me, yeah, but if I put down on paper that things in my life aren't the way that I want them to be, doesn't that mean that things in my life aren't going to be the way that I want them to be? And I said, if you really don't have any fears or worries, then don't put anything down. I'm not about making up fears and worries where they don't exist. But if you have them and you don't acknowledge them, then it's possible that you're going to be operating from a place of having them. If you acknowledge them, change starts from acknowledging what is. So if you acknowledge them, then you can change them. If you acknowledge the beliefs that you're holding about yourself, if you're acknowledging the fears, then you can change them. You can let them go. This morning, I sat down with my trainer and I got a little bit verklempt about some thoughts that I've been holding about myself, some thoughts about my impatience, about how long this is taking and how long is this going to take? I want to transform already, goddammit, it's been 6 months. And first of all, he was able to remind me that I don't have to choose that state of mind. I don't have to choose those thoughts. I can let them go. And I can see them as the lying, fearful thoughts that they are and let them go. And I can also look at whether there's any truth to them. And the truth that was there was, it's not just that I'm choosing thoughts that don't necessarily serve me. There are times where I'm choosing behaviors that don't serve me. And I have a responsibility. I have a responsibility to my children who are watching everything I do. And I have a responsibility to the women who are inspired by the changes that I've made in my life in other areas, the one-woman show and the $1 Million Business. I have a responsibility to them to continue to show them the power of this way of living and this way of thinking and this way of speaking and this way of being. So I have a responsibility to line my behaviors up with my beliefs so that I can manifest the outcomes that I know are inevitable when I do that. So that's my truth for today. And just for today, my behaviors are aligned with my thinking and my desires, and my beliefs are too. So how about you? Are you holding any behaviors or any thoughts or any beliefs that are not aligned with what it is you're trying to manifest? Are you being the example to your children that you want to be? How's that going? I'd like to know. So that's it for this week. Thank you for letting me be here and letting me have you as part of my community to hold me accountable to making sure that I'm holding myself to the highest possible standard of faith and belief and outcomes. Till next week. Bye-bye.